All right, guys, we are live. As you can hear, the natives are indeed restless again. We've got more fucking bullshit erupting all over the country in a coordinated, planned attack on our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, or our First Amendment, and a fundamental test of our values and our way of life. Yeah, it's getting pretty stupid out there, guys. We have the president. He is now live on the set. Are they introducing him? What's going on, y'all? It's me, SpaysE McG, your favorite cartoon nerd, with the news. Back at it again. Yeah, we're going through this bullshit still. We have a lot of news about that. We have a lot of news about the Supreme Court, Donald Trump. Apparently things are going crazy at his hearing in New York. We've got a bunch of fucking dumb, rich white women demanding that they be put in burqas. And they want to usher in an Islamic caliphate here in America. That is their ultimate goal, or their ultimate goal is to destroy us. Now, we do have this video on pause right now. Because I don't know what's going on there. I just wanted to kind of drop in on these morons real quick. If I could get my mouse to cooperate, it's being uncooperative. I'm having an uncooperative mouse day. It's being, like Gen Z, it's being very gay. Demanding jihad. Okay, there. So this is what's going on. This is Texas again, guys. Texas again. There's other universities, but this one just popped up as I was doing all my preparations. Now, let's go to the president, because I think the president's going to be a better show. All right, and we're just in time. Also with us today, resuming shortly. What the fuck is all this? What the fuck is all this? Well, what's going on, y'all? It's me, SpaysE McG. We're having a great show. We are live, and one thing is for certain when it comes to President Joe Biden, the only thing you can expect is failure. We've got a nice little crowd starting to form out here. Who do I have in my audience today? I've got Usi Kiwi. Usi, my guy. Why is the video on pause? Wants to know, Salty Alaskan. I don't know, brother. Usi, are we there yet? No, we're getting there, brother. We got Steve Ash. Let's go. Well, I'm going as the best I can, brother. Yes. So, let's go back to retarded white kids. Down, down with occupation. Up with liberation. Up with liberation. Down with occupation. Down with occupation. Yeah, if those goddamn Palestinians could quit occupying all the Jewish land, I think we would be okay. I agree. Quit occupying Jewish land. Now, like I said, we have a very special guest who's going to help us debunk Joe Biden when he comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for number 45, number 47, Donald Trump. Mr. President, thank you for being on the show. Oh, it's no problem, Space. You know that this is the greatest show since Abraham Lincoln, Space. It truly is. It truly is. I don't know about that, but thank you, Mr. President. We've got Ash B. We've got Shaman. We've got J-Mon. Yes. Yes, Space. Yes. You have a very great audience, Ash B. Ash B. You are truly tremendous. Usi Kiwi, He's very smart, SpaysE. I don't know if he's as smart as me, but he's a smart guy, SpaysE. Yeah, yes, sir. He sure is. We've got hemp up in this house. Yes. So now we've got sir, while we're waiting for the president, what do you think about all of these protesters out here today, sir? I don't really know a whole lot about them, SpaysE. I think that they want there to be more wars. You know, SpaysE, I'm the only president in history that's never started a war, not since Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, sir. Well, yeah, you are, sir. You are actually probably, since Reagan at least, the best at outfoxing our enemies and forcing them to shit all over themselves, sir. Yeah, that's what I did every day, SpaysE. I would look America I would look King Jong-un in the eye, and I would tell him, I would say, "Is this your house? I got a picture of your house. If you launch one more missile, I'm gonna burn your house with a laser from outer space." Yes, sir. I know that. I know that. He would look at me. It was hilarious, SpaysE. He would look and he'd say, "Oh, you wouldn't really do that, would you?" Yeah, I've heard the story, sir. Yeah, and I would tell him, "You don't know." You see, you always got to keep them guessing, SpaysE. You always got to keep them guessing. That's true, sir. That's true.
In 1969, thousands of students.
We've got New York Debs up in the house. Hey, Debs. You can have a wrench. Listen to these
Hello,
people,
Syracuse.
Sir. They're chanting like they're in some
Great
kind
to
of
be
cult.
here.
I know,
show you
SpaysE, it's
something.
ridiculous.
I am Syracuse today.
Oh,
From head.
I think you got
to toe.
something going on here, SpaysE. I think
Let
you're
me
right,
ask you
sir. Hold on.
something.
Is the president coming out?
So it's great to be here, everybody, and I'm so proud to be here. But before I begin,
Sounds like Chuck
I
Schumer.
want to remember, as we all do, that two
It
Sundays
is Chuck
ago,
Schumer.
this community
Boo!
lost two selfless.
You know that you're a complete and
Today
utter
every day,
nerd when
we
you can
salute
tell
and
Chuck
remember
Schumer
Syracuse
just by his
Police
voice.
Officer Michael Jensen.
That's how we
and
roll
our
around here,
Sheriff
son.
Department Lieutenant Michael Husak. Their dedication to serving the public and their selfless heroism motivates and inspires us.
Yes,
to build a
fucking Ash is a
Syracuse
bad
and Central New
motherfucker.
York community that is safe, that is healthy, that is vibrant for all who live here. Let us always commit to that very important.
What the fuck
effort.
is this retard on about? I don't know.
Now, it is so good to be here on such an important day for this community's future and for America's future. First,
Oh my God, that is so cringe. Like he's trying to be all hype. That's as hype as he can get, right? Like, yay, this is a great day for America. But he's not even like that. He's like, this is a great day for America's future and our future. Yeah, this fucking guy is so old. He's a self-hating Jew, and I fucking hate him.
he's not wearing the orange socks, but he's Syracuse all the way. Let's give it up for our great guest, President Joe Biden.
I don't hate a lot of people that I've never met, right? Like most of these people I can say something nice about, even if I don't like them, right? There's something
Mr.
about
President,
them that I can say positive, and I try to say something positive about them, if I can. But there's nothing positive I can say about Chuck Schumer besides, yeah, I hope that he gets the jihad that he's supporting.
welcome back to Syracuse. This city will always be home for you. Now, this is a historic day, a historic investment, a historic moment for Syracuse, for upstate New York, and for all of America. Today we celebrate one of the largest federal
He
investments
said
for a
gas
single
president.
project
Yes, let's
ever.
get. Oh no, wait.
Historic investment for you. Welcome back to Syracuse. This city will always be a historic moment for Syracuse, for upstate New York, and for all of America. Today we celebrate one of the largest federal investments for a single project ever in upstate New York.
Wow. Yay. Yay, more inflation. Yay. Actually, I have to say this because I'm an economy guy. If we print money in order to create new products that improves our productivity overall, that actually has a deflationary effect. So, like, you could, in theory, print your way out of inflation, but only by creating a giant super industry and a huge, like, consumer class, right? Like, you'd have to, like, because you have to buy up all the goods, right, with all the extra money, right? But I don't think that these clowns are smart enough to figure that out.
Thanks to our chips and science law.
No, there's no New York Debs. What it is they're in front of a union, right? A union, right? And if you don't know, unions are basically funding arm of the Democratic Party, right? And so all the people in the crowd are being paid to be there, right? They're like getting overtime for being there, right? So like, of course they're clapping. Yeah.
$1 billion.
You'd be clapping too if you were being paid $40 an hour.
Supercharge Micron to build the most advanced memory chip factory in the world.
A memory
right
chip.
Here in Syracuse in central New York. The most advanced chip memory factory in the world. Right here. So
I
we
hope
are
that
building,
that's true,
we are
'cause
rebuilding
that will significantly
upstate
reduce
New
the
York's
cost of
economy
RAM.
one microchip at a time. Our country will be more economically secure because of
Oh,
Micron.
absolutely.
Our national
But Uzi, I do have to remind you that the reason why our interest rate seems like it's much higher than it should be, why it's such a large increase right now, is because we were running at 0% interest rates for probably 10 or 12 of those years, right, in the last 20 years, right? 9/11, they went to 0%. In 2008, they went to 0%. During the pandemic, they went to 0%, right? So, yes, what you're saying is true, but I'm not trying to defend the economy. Yeah, the interest rates are high, right? But historically, they're still actually pretty low compared to what they were when I was a kid, like 10 and 15% when I was a kid. So, you know, it's all about perspective, I guess.
national security will be stronger because of Micron. And Syracuse, central New York, and upstate New York's economy will be more prosperous because of Micron. This expansion will
But
bring...
they're still too damn high. I'm just saying. But the example you gave, there was some nuance to it, and I just wanted to get that out.
nearly 50,000 good-paying jobs, enough to fill every seat in the JMA Dome.
Yay! What the fuck is that even? I have no idea. I'm not from New
Funding
York.
will help
I'm from
Micron
Philly.
invest a record more than $100 billion.
I'm from the John.
Folks, this is the largest single private investment in all of New York State's history.
Okay, skip,
and
skip,
one
skip,
of the
skip.
largest private investments
We're behind
ever
anyway. We're just
in
gonna
the
skip past
nation's
this
history.
bullshit.
Is not that great.
I would much rather do Joe Biden. So let's go.
And compared to chip now, time
Holy
in
shit.
20 years, we're
He talks a
that
lot.
loss of manufacturing
It's amazing. He talks so much and says nothing.
would have to look
He's
over
still
overseas
talking
for
live?
the
Oh my
country
God.
to build
Joe
these
Biden must
fabs.
be having another
It's no
aneurysm in the back.
exaggeration to say that without chips and science,
It's amazing how
investments
much
like
he can
Micron
talk
would
and
not
say
have
nothing.
been possible, and the future for upstate New York might have looked very, very different. So, to all those who had their doubts, Micron is here. Micron is real. It's never going away.
It's real, I swear.
We're
You
here
just
for
gotta
good,
believe in it.
and this is going to be great. And today, the federal government is betting big on the bright future for upstate New York. And Micron's not the only one. I've been working real hard to get benefits
He's trying to get them claps, Ash.
state.
He's working on it,
Global
but
Foundries in the Capital Region,
like
Wolfspeed in Utica, Edwards Vacuum in Genesee County between Rochester.
I've never heard such half-hearted hype. I swear to God.
In Buffalo, and so much. And I want to thank the person who made this great moment possible, and that is President Joe Biden.
All right, here we go, guys.
Upstate New York is proud to call
shut the
President
fuck up,
Biden
dude.
one of our own, and Syracuse is part of the president's DNA. He knows the struggle people face here to make ends meet. He's seen it.
They're
lived it
bribing
through
for
his family.
votes. It's what they do. No shit.
For him, it's personal.
No fucking shit.
He knows we must invest in places
That's
like
the only way,
Syracuse
like-
to create an economy that lifts everyone from the bottom up and the middle out.
He said gas
And
president.
while
Well,
she's
I don't
not
know.
here,
Maybe we skipped
I
over
want to
it.
thank Secretary of Commerce
Now he's talking
Tina
about building the
Raimondo
economy up from the
and
bottom up and
Deputy
the middle out.
Secretary Graves.
Which we all know. If you know anything about construction, that's not how you build things. Right? Right. You build them from the bottom up, not the middle. You can only cantilever, I believe it's 3 feet on either side before that's no longer up to code. Well, in
deserves
Ohio
so much
anyway.
credit
you can only
for this
cantilever a
investment.
wall 3
I knew
feet.
from our very first conversation when I was beginning to conceive on many New York, a global hub of the microchip industry, and someone special.
I just want to
County
get past
Executive
this dumb
McMahon.
moron.
Ryan, your vision. I'm finding that plot of land. When I started,
That's what I
talking to
think,
Wu
Lucy.
companies here, they said,
I
"You have a
think that
site
he's
ready
just
place."
out
A
here
lot of places
talking.
didn't.
Remember,
Syracuse-
because normally they have the guy that comes out and introduces him. In this case, it was Kathy Hochul, right? And after that, they have the president comes out. Normally they have one person introduce him, and then the president comes out immediately, right? This time, there was that "we will resume shortly," where they cut away to like we're having technical difficulties screen, right? Yes. Yeah, they're juicing him up. What do you have to say about that, sir? Mr. President? What do you have to say about the allegations that Joe Biden is on drugs, sir? Of course he's on drugs, SpaysE. Whose cocaine do you think that was that they found, SpaysE? You know, there was never any cocaine in the White House when I was president, SpaysE. No, the guy's high on something. I tell you that. He's high on his own farts at least. The shit that he comes out of his mouth, they called me a liar. They called me a liar, SpaysE. This man said his uncle was eaten by cannibals. It's a tragedy what he's doing to this office space. It is, sir. It is.
Just did because of you, Ryan. Big. Together, we know this is not just a once-in-a-generation investment. It's an investment that will span generations, with Micron in the lead and Central New York going to great heights.
No, who the fuck is this guy? That's
Sanjay
not the
Mahotra,
president.
everybody. Thank you, Mike.
Joe might have had a heart attack, guys. He might have shit himself. He probably shit himself. No, this isn't how they do this. This isn't how this normally happens.
What an exciting day.
Oh, my God.
And thank you for leadership.
Oh, my God.
For that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. 18 months ago, the president came to Syracuse with us to celebrate Micron's vision to bring
The Micron guy,
leading-edge
yes.
semiconductor manufacturing to central New York.
I hope he's better
And
on drugs
we
today.
are here to make that vision a reality. Today, we are celebrating an investment in America's future, an investment in jobs, an investment in national and economic security, an investment to ensure American leadership in memory, semiconductor technology, and
A remains.
manufacturing.
Well, we're waiting for the damn
None of
president
this
to come out.
would have been possible without the CHIPS and
Well,
Science
we
Act.
just got this Habib guy
There
out
are
here.
so many who contributed to make this day happen. President Biden, thank you for your vision to invest in America and manufacture leading-edge semiconductors that are critical to emerging technologies. Secretary Demando, I'm sorry that you are not able to attend today, but I know your team is here, who are at the
Your
center
team is
of
here.
the CHIPS implementation.
No, I don't.
Majority
I don't
Leader
have
Schumer,
anything about
your relentless
against
tenacity
Indian
to build
people.
a
They're awesome
bipartisan
people.
coalition led to the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act. Governor Hochul, the New York Green CHIPS program and the community investment framework you led will revitalize the semiconductor ecosystem across upstate New York. Onondaga County Executive McMahon,
I
your
guess the
foresight
protests are not being
and
streamed right now
collaborative
either.
approach was essential to ensure that Micron had the land available, more than 1,000 acres of land, to build the mega
Oh, they're
fab
chanting
of the
retards.
future
I would
here,
much rather
the
listen
mega
to the
fab
chanting
cluster of the
retards,
future.
Ash.
Leader Schumer, Governor Hochul,
I can't even
and
understand what
County
this guy's
Executive
saying, and I don't
McMahon,
mean that in like
you
a
have
slur
been
kind of way.
instrumental in
I mean
bringing
that in a
Micron to New
literal,
York.
I can't
Thank you.
understand what this guy is saying. And like, I'm a software engineer. Like, I know about the things that he's saying, but I don't know
And
what
we
the
are
words are
absolutely
he's saying.
thrilled to be part of Central New York. We have received such a warm welcome here, and we are excited to build our future here together with you. And for our
No, this is definitely a delay tactic. Maybe the president's plane is delayed, or he shit himself, or like he got too high on adrenochrome and they got to wait for him to come down. I don't know.
Idaho project, I want to thank Governor Little, partner and supporter, who is firmly committed to
They will
preparing
be back shortly,
Idaho's
says the
workforce for the
Associated
future.
Press. So it's not
Boise
over.
Mayor McLean, thank you for sharing our community commitments and values and leading a vision to create a city for everyone. Thank you both for traveling to be with us today. I really want to thank each one of you. The
I'm gonna try to
collective
find more
persistence and
protesters
vision
while we're
of this
waiting.
bipartisan group has created a generational opportunity for American semiconductor
His
manufacturing.
finishing is pudding.
And
cup.
I would be remiss
Cups.
if I did not thank my board. Two of the board members,
I think that this
Lynn
is what we're
Dougal
watching
and
now,
Minnie
yes.
Hainsworth, are here today with us. We are really honored to have you. And I have to say thank you for your support, your relentless support through the various challenges that we faced as we finalized to come to this day. So on behalf of all of Micron team, thank you to our board as well. This is an extraordinarily proud moment for Micron, a company
here
that
we
was
go.
founded by 4 engineers in Boise, Idaho, 45 years ago. Today, we are a global innovation powerhouse. More than 40,000
Here, we'll just pause this for a minute, and then we'll go over here. And we'll listen to this fucking moron.
So thank you. Keep it up. The bullshit war. Continues to happen. Needs to end.
That guy sounds like my doctor. Not a looker in the bunch, guys. That's one thing that I can say for sure, is that is that conservative women are beautiful and these women are ugly. And they have stupid hats. She's wearing a stupid hat. KJB, KKK, IDF, they're all the same. Oh, APD, the Austin Police, the Ku Klux Klan, and the Israeli Defense Force are all the same. Well, that's a little bit of a reach, wouldn't you say? Chanting dumb shit can affect world change. Find a liberal and marry her. Yeah, no, liberals are hot. I'm a liberal. It just so happens that now liberals are conservative. These are not liberals. Do not call them liberals. You'll insult them and you'll insult liberals. These are progressives, right? These are the same people that spawned eugenics and Nazism, right? And you can see it right now. You can see that these ideas are stemmed in early 20th century bullshit, like social Darwinism, right? Is it any wonder that these are all sociology majors and gender study majors, right? I bet you are, Deb. I love beautiful old conservative women. Yeah, I have a thing for older women, Deb, so I would probably find you very beautiful. I'm into that shit. Cool. Hey, what's up, Whacked Out? You've been working on a video game called The Dark Project? Is it on Steam yet, or what's up? What are you doing? That sounds awesome. Tell us more. These are abominations. I'm a liberal. The people retarded all need to get sharded. I bet these guys I bet they identify as retard autistic. Here's how you use retard autistic pronouns in a sentence. These retards are autistic. No, we're talking about, what is it, Gregorian liberalism? Something like that. Old school liberalism, like individual rights supersede the rights of the state. Like, the purpose of government is to provide for the common good, right? Like, liberalism. Like the real liberalism, not this bullshit. This bullshit is all spoiled rich kids pretending that their daddies didn't do all the horrible things that they're protesting about, right? That's what these fuckers are about, right? These are guilty, spoiled brats, right? Who are out here screaming dumb shit because of their guilt that they have for what their parents did to get them into this expensive university, right? We're gonna check on the president now.
Team members were of chips per year.
Oh no, this guy is
affecting
still
a
going.
large ecosystem of suppliers.
Okay, we're gonna go back to these fucking fucktards. It's like fucking with me right now. So I gotta do something stupid here. Hold on. If it'll let me. Whatever, let's go. Or something. It's doing its kajiggers.
For being here today. This week, students at UT joined others across the country. Declare campuses a liberated zone.
Look, it's like a cult, right? Like that's one of the fundamental tenets of cultism, right? Is to get people to repeat chants until they believe them, right? Right, you get them involved in the groupthink, right? And that's what we see right here, right? Look, and she's got like a little fucking Yasser Arafat fucking rag on her head, right? Like the little dummy doesn't know that she's literally glorifying suicide bombers that kill little kids, right? Like that was Yasser Arafat's whole thing, was sending retarded women into crowds to blow themselves up and kill as many kids as they could. It's a peace protest, yes. Yes. They want, they want a piece of the spotlight. This protest is all about peace. They want a piece of your fucking land and a piece of the spotlight. Oh, of course this is all up front for the CIA. Of course. Of course this is. Yeah, I happen to know when I was the president, and I was a very good president. I was probably, some would say, the best president ever. Yeah, the CIA and the deep state, they control everything. I can't say it all because I'm under secrecy laws, but the CIA does things that I can't talk about. Yeah, we know that. Oh, shut up, girl, Haji. Okay, we're going to go back and see if the president. I would much rather hear the president than this.
Across nearly
because I'm just very
all
good at
50
making
states.
fun of the president. I can barely hear what there's. Oh my God. Oh my God. This has never happened before in all of our years of doing this, guys. This has never happened before. And we've been doing this for 4 years now. This has never happened before. Something has happened to the president is not well, is my assumption, or he's late. Traffic or something, I don't know. But they've been stalling for quite some time, and they started early, which is the weird part. They started early, right? Okay, here we go. That is not the president. I mean, maybe it is. You can never tell with
Thank
this
you, thank you,
administration.
thank you.
Perhaps
Thank
that really is the
Thank you.
president. Because it's definitely not Joe Biden
My
running
name is
shit.
Shannon Thomas. I am proud to be here for one. It's good to see a lot of faces that I know, and I'm excited for what's going on, this event. I am currently a second-year apprentice.
The head rag is
and
called
I'm
a
currently
diker
working
chief.
for Emerald Electric. I am a proud member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 43.
See, I told you that these guys are all union workers. You can hear them all clapping now. Not that I'm against the idea of
I was
unions
born
in general,
and raised right
but
here
what they've
on the
turned
south side
into,
of Syracuse.
right, is bad. They take your money and they
3
give
years
it
ago,
to Joe Biden,
I found myself laid off from
so that the
what
government
was
can
a
then
cable-
give them no
cable
bid
job.
contracts
I was a
and
technician,
just make
cable
everybody
technician.
richer, right?
It was
Right.
the height of the pandemic.
Which is
I had
okay,
3
but
kids to take care of.
they shouldn't be allowed to
bills
use that
pay,
money to
and
influence
also
our elections.
loans to
Is all I'm saying.
cover. I saw an ad for a program which was the Pathways to Apprenticeship.
Yeah, no shit, fandom. No shit. Yeah,
This program
yeah, you know the president's in trouble, right? Because he has to bring all those people out, right? When Donald Trump was president, he could show up in the middle of a cornfield and 50,000 people would drive for hours to come see him, right? Like baseball game size crowds were coming for him, right? Right? Like the size of a baseball game. He could 30 to 50,000 people depending on where he was, right? On like 5 days notice, right? And this guy can get 20 fucking paid union workers, right? Yeah, exactly, Jokerfish. Unions today are not what they were intended to be, right?
led me straight to the IBW.
They've been infiltrated, just like every
And
other
back to
institution
America.
in this country, right? Now they have unelected elitists at the top who are basically plutocrats that were put there by nepotism, right? And those people are fearful of change instead of promoting change, right? And so we get this false change, right? Right? Well, we're not going to let your income go up, but we'll let gay guys get married, right? This fake change, right? 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 We'll take your guns away, but we'll give you the right to kill your babies, right? Right? Progress.
Not only are they coming back to America, but they're coming right back to our hometown.
Yeah, thanks to God.
Micron team.
Yeah,
who
I
made
have
it.
to point out that this is unnatural, right? This is government-funded industry, right? This is just another cog in the military-industrial complex, right? The reason they're bringing these chips back here is because they need them for their guided missiles, right?
It happened. Thank you. Special thanks to Micron for investing in America. And just to be gathered here today, we want to give a special thanks to President Biden.
I sound like a lefty
And
populist.
just remember, he made this
well,
promise 2 years ago, and he kept
See,
his
in America,
promise.
the Overton
and
window
he
has
promised to
shifted
bring
so
back
far that that's
infrastructure.
actually conservative
He promised to bring
ideas.
back
that I'm talking,
manufacturing,
right?
and not only that, he promised to bring back
It's now
good paying
conservatism.
union
Now I'm a
jobs.
far-right agitator.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden keeps his promise. And with that being said, I have the honor to introduce our
Donald
46th
Trump may be
president.
getting cuffed.
So if we can all just
Yeah,
stand up and get ready for him to come out. I would like to bring out our President of the United States,
Here we go.
Joe Biden.
Cause you don't know where to go right this minute. And if you don't clap, we'll take away your pension. And if you talk about him, they'll send the FBI to your house.
It's good to be back in Syracuse.
Hey, at least he knows where he is. That's a step up from normal.
Come, please all have a seat.
Boo.
Shannon, thanks for that introduction, and thank you for...
What did he just say? He just slurs his words worse than my friend who drinks a fifth of vodka a day. I'm sorry, a half of a half gallon every day.
For your brothers and sisters in the building trades, what they're doing to help build a future here in Syracuse. You know, before I start, I want to take a moment to honor two officers who I already mentioned, two fallen heroes who were killed in the line of duty this month. Lieutenant Michael Hosek.
Oh, Biden's in trouble with the
County
Supreme
Sheriff
Court?
Department,
Yeah, I
and
see that the
Syracuse
Supreme
Police
Court
Officer
arguments are
Michael
going
Jensen.
on.
We pray for their loved ones. whose
I have
hearts
news
been
about that.
broken.
But
You
it's
know,
about Trump's immunity
Every time
one.
a police officer puts on that shield every morning, their husband or wife, whatever it is, or child, worries about will they get that phone call.
Hey, how do you know that their significant others identify as a gender binary, sir? You just insulted everyone in the room.
Will they get that phone call? I got one of those phone calls in a different circumstance. Find out you've lost part of your soul.
Oh my God,
Lost
he's
part of
talking
your
about
heart.
his dead son again.
The entire
He just
Syracuse
opens up
community
with
is
the
grieving.
family stories.
And we're grieving with you.
Was Beau Biden
You know, to the
eaten
men
by
and women of
fucking
law
cannibals,
enforcement here and
sir?
across the country, you represent the best of us. You really do. It's one of the
Hold on,
toughest
I'm
jobs
switching
in
my. I
America.
can't barely hear him. I need more volume.
Jobs. And to the families who I hope to get to meet shortly, I say my heart goes out to you. Thank you, and God bless you all. Folks, I want to thank Governor Hochul for having us here today.
Governor Hochul, yeah, for helping usher in a police state into the New York City fucking underground and everywhere else, right? Again, this is a problem reaction solution. They legalize crime so that crime gets so bad that the people will accept a military police state to stop it, right? And that's what's happening in New York. Fuck Hochul.
And for her
She's
partnership.
a hook of shit.
And thanks to Chuck Schumer, a relentless advocate for this project we're here to talk about today. County Executive Man, it's good to be back in a place that meant so much to me in my life. I also want to thank Governor Little of Idaho and Boise Mayor McLean for joining us. Micron CEO Sanjay, thank you for your leadership and investment in America.
Notice how he didn't say his last name. It's a fucking embarrassment. I swear. This guy is an embarrassment for the whole country. It's terrible, Space. What he's doing to my office is disgraceful. Well, this is all your fault, sir. You let them steal the election. Hey, it wasn't me, Space. It was Bill Barr. Oh, okay, I believe that.
America. We try to entice you a little bit with a couple hundred, billions of dollars, but you can't. And it seemed to work. And all the union leaders here, including Randy Weingarten and the American Federation of Teachers, thank you for showing the world that we...
This guy.
And it seemed to work. And all the union leaders here, including Randy Weingarten and the American Federation of Teachers, thank you for showing the world that we can do big things again in America.
We can do big
And
things.
all folks all over the years, I've asked business leaders like Sanjay.
Yeah, but can he do
because
them
the other
bigly?
team kept criticizing
No,
me
sir,
for
he cannot.
Want to make these investments, things like the infrastructure bill, which is over $1 trillion. And we're going to have we have an infrastructure decade coming. Last guy had infrastructure week and never showed up. But I asked him. I
I don't
told
get the
that,
joke.
This is government intervention.
Why are we
It sure hell
yelling?
is. I ask every business leader I know.
He's on drugs, Space.
Not
he
a
has
joke.
to be on drugs. He can't control his
When the
volume
federal
level.
government
Not
makes a
like,
multi-billion-dollar investment in something, does that encourage you or
not
discourage?
like me, Space. I have the best volume control since Lincoln, Space, since Lincoln. That's what I hear, sir.
Discourage you from getting engaged. Well, guess what? Every single solitary leader said overwhelmingly yes, it encouraged them to get engaged. And so that's why we're here today.
What the fuck is this fucking
You know,
geezer
during the
on
pandemic,
about?
folks, everyone learned about supply chains. You may remember we had
We're going to learn about, oh God, this is going to be one of the worst lessons in logistics. Yeah, that we've ever had.
a global shortage of semiconductors. Smaller than the tip of your finger, and now it's even smaller than that.
So he's telling these people who are in a union that probably makes microchips, because the microchip company is there, how microchips work. They're smaller than the tip of your finger. Yeah, I mean, the transistors inside are smaller than the cracks in your finger.
That would help power everything in our lives, from smartphones to cars to dishwashers, satellites.
You mean things have microchips in them? Holy shit. Wow, I'm learning a lot today.
We invented those chips here in America. We
Oh,
invented
wow,
them.
we've heard all this before.
We made them move. We modernized them. But over time,
We made microchips move. We created sentient microchips, guys.
we used to have 40% of this market. And over time, we stopped making them. So when the
Yeah, that's because of bad policies that incentivized American companies to move to China when you were a senator. You wrote the laws that let them go to China and not have to pay taxes on it, right? Right? You did that, sir.
The pandemic shut down chip factories overseas. Prices of everything went up. Here at home, that semiconductor shortage drove 1/3 of the surge in inflation in 2021, caused long wait lines of all kinds of products. Folks, I determined that I'm never going to let us be vulnerable to wait lines again. If it's essential, we're going to make it here in America. And together, by the way,
Yes,
that's not
he is a
hyperbole, that's
racist.
literal.
He is.
Together with Schumer
Joe
leader and I, we
Biden's
took action to make
great-grand-
sure these chips are made in America again, creating
You know, for a guy that loves to talk about his family, he doesn't bring up his slave-owning great-grandfather very often. You know? You'd think he would talk more about that guy. You don't hear a lot about old granddaddy's fucking Master McBiden.
tens of thousands, and I mean tens of thousands of good-paying jobs, bringing prices down for everyone. In 2022, together with Leader Schumer, we wrote the Chips and Science Act. We used to invest significant amounts of money in research and development. We stopped doing it, but I was determined we were going to do it again. It's one of the most significant science.
And I'm sure this will end just as well as every other thing that you have taken on, like student loan cancellation. Great job. Inflation reduction. You did such a good job, sir. Afghanistan withdrawal. God damn it, sir. God damn it. I'll tell you, you did a great job. Preventing Putin from invading Ukraine, right? Oh God, man. Sir, that was amazing how well that worked. Preventing Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. Great job, sir. Preventing Iran from striking Israel. Preventing Israel from striking Iran. Let's not forget the 1994 crime bill, sir, that put people into prison for less crack than your son buys from a hooker on video. It's amazing, sir. It's amazing the job that you have done. And I'm sure this reinvestment in America is going to work out as well as all those other things.
Technology investments in our history. In 2 months.
Oh, yeah, and you're going to cure cancer by the time you leave office. I forgot that. Yeah, you're doing such a great job, sir, that cancer rates have skyrocketed. You know why he suddenly got all about curing cancer? Well, it's because he tried to force upon you a medical intervention that in some cases has increased your risk of cancer.
Later, I came to
some
Syracuse
people.
to celebrate Micron's historic plan.
According
build
to
the
the data,
biggest
I'm not
semiconductor
saying that.
manufacturing site
They're saying
in
that.
all of America, one of the biggest in the world. As was mentioned, it's the size of, going to be the size of 40 football field. 40. Big enough to fit 4 carrier domes inside and still has space left over. Today, I'm pleased to announce we're building on that commitment with a landmark preliminary agreement between my administration and Micron, a major chip manufacturer which is building these fabs here in upstate New York. $6.1 billion in CHIPS funding paired with $125 billion from Micron to build these facilities here in New York and near Micron headquarters in Idaho. And by the way,
They make microchips in Idaho?
it's been mentioned before, it's the single biggest
I just thought
private
they made
investment
potato
ever
chips
in the
there.
history of these 2 states, Idaho
Can you
and
put
New
transistors
York.
on potatoes?
So
If you
far,
can,
not
but
far from
Idaho
here,
will lead
Clay,
the
New
world.
York is going to help build 2 to 4 manufacturing facilities planned by Micron's Mega Labs. And Boise, Ohio is going to help build new high-volume manufacturing fabs as well. In all, it's going to create over 70,000 jobs across both states, at least 9,000 of which are construction jobs, 11,000 manufacturing jobs.
Okay, but those what will happen after they build the factory? What will happen to those so they're temporary jobs, right? For a year or two while they
Tens
build
of
these
thousands
factories.
more up and down the supply chain, and it includes 9,000
So really, it's only creating like 30,000 jobs is what you're saying, sir.
permanent Micron manufacturing jobs right here in Clay, not here, but near in Clay, just a little bit from here.
Oh, so
Many
9,000
of them paying-
permanent jobs. So really, at the end, it's only going to create 9,000 jobs because those jobs, those construction jobs will either be filled by people that are already in construction, right? Or there'll be temporary jobs to build something, and then when the building's over, they won't have a job again.
Catch this, $100,000 a year, and it doesn't require a college degree.
He said, I think he
These
said Boise,
projects are
Idaho.
governed by the largest project labor agreement in the state's history. It makes one of the.
He might have said
it makes
Boise,
sure that
Ohio.
The work is done on time with the highest quality and most significant safety standards. And I'm pleased that Micron is planning to sit down with unions to discuss labor peace. Look, that's not all.
He's got to be
These
drunk
new
or
brand
something.
new facilities are going to produce the most sophisticated
Why are we yelling?
leading-edge memory chips in the entire world. Each one has trillions, not billions, not millions, trillions of tiny features, each 4,000 times thinner than a single.
Yes, sir. Those are called transistors.
Hair on your head, and I got some very thin hair on my head. They require manufacturing precision down to the size of an atom. They process enormous amounts of information at lightning speed, and they're critical to the emerging technologies.
Roseanne got raped by Joe Biden?
Intelligence, and
I'm going to press X to doubt on that
They'll
one.
make everyday things
Roseanne's
faster,
not the most stable
lighter,
woman in the
smaller,
world.
and more reliable. And it's about time. Even though America invented these advanced chips, we don't make any of them today. Zero.
But looking at the women Joe Biden has allegedly raped, Roseanne is just his type.
Zero. All manufacturing of leading-edge chips moved to Asia years ago. That's why today this is such a big deal, and it
Yeah, years ago, about the same time I took office.
is a big deal.
Well, I wonder those two things are related.
We're bringing advanced chips manufacturing back
China,
to America
Joe
after 40
Biden.
years. And it's going to transform our semiconductor industry.
We're going to transform it,
pillar
guys.
of a
We're gonna
modern
We're
economy.
going to transform
And
it.
it's going to create an entirely new ecosystem
Just like we transform your boys into girls.
in research, design, manufacturing of advanced chips here in America. Folks, where is it written? When I said we were gonna
definitely
have the
said
largest
Ohio. Holy
manufacturing
shit.
capital of the world again when I got elected, they looked at me, some of my friends, and said, "You're crazy." Well, where the heck is it written that American manufacturing will not be the capital of the world again? It's going to be. We've already created
Remember all the
800,000
psychological
new
breakdowns Roseanne
manufacturing
had
jobs
in
since I
the
took
late
office.
80s and early 90s? It was
We're
like a
just
thing.
getting started. And that's a fact. We're just getting started.
She would do like memory regressions and all those things, and she'd been raped. I'm just saying, I've heard all this before from Roseanne. She was not well, and she probably still isn't. I love her work, right? Roseanne was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid, but yeah, I was into Darlene.
It isn't just about investing in America. It's about investing in the American people as well.
Yeah, clap seals.
And that includes training.
Hey, when he says investing in people, he means us.
Folks for these high-paying jobs, highly skilled new
Joe
jobs that we're
Biden
creating.
is raping me
To
right
do
now,
that, we're
says
bringing
Holy Harlot.
employers, unions, community colleges, high schools together, and workforce hubs where folks can learn the skills hands-on.
Just like I put my hands on all those little girls.
My wife Jill cares a lot about this as well. She's teaching at a community college right now. Last year, she announced our first 5 workforce hubs in the United States. In Pittsburgh, Phoenix, Baltimore, Columbus, Ohio.
It's funny how he never knows where he's at or where he's from. He always fucks it up.
Hubs in the United States. In Pittsburgh, Phoenix, Baltimore, Columbus, Ohio, and
He's
Augusta,
raping
Georgia.
all of the United
Thousands
States.
of workers will be trained in these facilities. And today, I'm pleased to announce 4 new hubs.
Why does he keep doing that? That's like the 3rd time he did that little hand over his
Thousands
eye
of workers
thing.
will be trained in these
Is he having another brain
Today,
aneurysm?
I'm pleased to announce
I think he's
4
having
new
another
hub programs.
aneurysm, guys.
1 hub in Detroit and Lansing, Michigan. Folks will make electric cars. Another hub in Philadelphia. 1 in Milwaukee will train workers that will replace every poisonous lead pipe in America within the decade. And here in Syracuse, the Syracuse region, a new hub. We're going to train semiconductor workers for the future.
Yay, that's us. Now give me my fish full of subsidies. Yay, more inflation.
I know that Micron is also partnering with the American Federation of Teachers to develop technology curriculum for high schools in New York State. Think about it. Those of you who are as young as me, 40 years old.
He was born a poor black child in a cannibal tribe.
Still
I was born a poor black child in the cannibal tribes of New Guinea, where I learned from my Jewish ancestors about how to be a real Puerto Rican.
have shop in them. How many folks have where you learn how to work with your hands?
We all went to the black
Significant
church
number of public
and had Seder dinner.
schools did away with it. So many young people who are qualified and want to and are capable of working and never know that they have that capacity. Well, I want to thank Randy and Sanjay for their work and my
Cheap labor in
contribution to workforce
Kensington.
development, because
Yeah, there's cheap labor in Kensington, but you can't put those guys on a ladder. They'll fucking fall right off.
it's going to make
While
a
they're
big difference.
fucking falling out on
It
their dope.
all, so far,
You can't put those guys on a ladder, I'll tell you that. Or trust them with a power tool. They'll fucking nod out and cut their own arm off.
my Investing in America agenda has attracted more than $825 billion. $825 billion in private sector investment, not a penny of which existed before I got elected. It ignited a manufacturing boom, a clean energy boom, a semiconductor boom nationwide. And it's clear.
Yeah. That's why Bidenomics is great. Is because I've created all these imaginary booms in the future. That's why you should vote for me now. Because I swear this is going to pay off, guys. I swear. It's going to go just as well as every other thing I've ever done.
Here we have the strongest economy
Never underestimate Joe's ability to fuck shit up. Quote, Barack Obama.
in the world. That's a fact.
That's
15
a
million
fact.
new jobs created in 3.5 years. Unemployment
No, those are recovered jobs, sir. We're sick of you saying that. Sir, we're sick of you saying that. Yeah, Space. It's like this, okay? during the pandemic, we lost like 40 million jobs, Space. By the end of my term, we had recovered nearly 30 million of those jobs. So by his own measurement, I created 30 million jobs in 8 months. Think about that, Space. Yeah, but they'll never do that math to talk about you. They'll only focus on the jobs you lost, sir, right? And count all those jobs as losses for you, right? Which is the same 12 million jobs that he's saying he created, right? Yeah, Space, but when I was in charge, we left him with a booming economy that was on track to be the greatest recovery since Lincoln, Space. It was the greatest we are live, guys.
Hasn't been this low for this long for 50 years. Wages are rising. Instead of importing foreign products, we're exporting American jobs. We're exporting American products and creating American jobs.
Press X to doubt on that. We have like a $600 billion trade deficit with China, something like that. $600 billion. We are not exporting products and importing jobs, or whatever the fuck this guy said, right? And if we are importing jobs, I'll give that to him. Yeah, from Mexico. We're importing Mexicans to do all these jobs, right? Like, why do you think that food prices are rising so fast, right? Because there's all these third world people coming in, eating up all our food, right? Right? And that's why food prices keep rising out of control, is because of all the 13 million, or roughly a 3% increase, guys. A 3% increase in people in this country. Almost 4. Almost, we're going to call it a 4% increase, right, in population in just a few years.
Here in America,
some say it's higher than that because there's unknown unknowns.
But folks, my predecessor and his MAGA Republican friends have a very different view. They oppose the CHIPS and Science Act that's powering this growth today. In fact, your Congressman, Brandon Williams, called it corporate welfare. Bless me, Father.
Yeah, corporate welfare. That's exactly what you're doing. No, corporate welfare isn't cutting taxes for corporations. Corporate welfare is raising taxes to give corporations trillion-dollar chip acts in order to do business in the United States. That is literally the definition of corporate welfare, is raising my taxes to build factories for corporations, right, in order to give union workers low productivity jobs, right?
And Lisa Stefanik, a few counties over, called the CHIPS Act, she said, was Washington at its worst, end of quote. I guess they're not going to be here today to celebrate. But now.
Yeah, well, this guy's definitely on dope, fandom.
Conversion is wonderful, isn't it? Now they've seen the massive surge in investment in jobs that we mobilized. And they're singing a different tune now. Now they say this is critical. You got that? Stefanik,
why are we
critical.
yelling?
Now they say what we're doing will, quote, lead to a more prosperous, secure, and innovative America. Well, there's nothing I said like conversion. I agree. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, we want
Folks,
to
look,
convert
we gotta stop this
your
division.
daughters into boys.
I promise to be president.
We
for
just
all
want
of
to chop
America.
their titties off. That's it. We want to chop their titties off and cut open the inside of their mouth so that we can take skin and roll it into a little tiny penis. That way they can have collapsed urethras.
If you voted for me or not, today's investment helps Americans everywhere, in red states and blue states, and proof that we leave no one behind. Of the infrastructure jobs and proposals, we have more of them in red states than in blue states. It's about America. Let me close with this.
Yeah, nobody has united this country more than Joe Biden. I'll give him that. Right? We've never seen such a dramatic shift against the Democratic Party in my lifetime, right? It's accelerated. Like, I got ahead of the wave, right? Like, in 2016, I started seeing, 2015, I started seeing something wasn't right, right? And by 2017, 2018, I had pretty much decided I was against this, right? Right? And now everybody else is starting to see it too. The same thing I see. The marrying of corporations and government into this one big giant conglomerate, right? It's very much like the Nazi Party, where we have taxes going to corporations, right? So that they can then in turn buy power for the people that put the laws into place to give them all of our money.
The last few years, I've talked to folks all across America, in their communities, and at their...
Yet, instead of protesting about that, the activist class wants to protest Israel.
kitchen table.
So that we can, because listen to this. If we leave Israel, right, then China moves in, right? Then China controls the Middle East, and all that oil is gone, buddy. And now China has domain over all of that energy.
They often tell me back in 2020, they were down. They lost their business. How many did you know somebody worked to carry another facility and a whole generation to work there? And you're sitting there as a parent, and your mom and the kid that comes home, well-educated, says, I can't live here anymore. There's no job for me. I got to
21
move.
human traffickers were arrested in Europe today.
They lost faith. Syracuse is a good example for
They
decades. It was a manufacturing
Iraq,
boom town,
Afghanistan,
full of
Syria,
good-paying
Egypt,
jobs,
Syria.
and a solid path to the middle class. I know. I lived here. I went to law school here.
Yeah,
Married a
they're
wonderful woman from
trafficking
Lake
children?
Skinny Isles, that's why I came to Syracuse.
Or they're
Law School.
trafficking jihadis into
felt
Europe.
But over the years, trickle-down economics swept it all away. Under my predecessor, manufacturers.
Chinese aren't scary. Well, I don't know. I mean, not now. No, you're right. You're right. They're a joke right now. But imagine if they had unlimited resources, what they could do. They have billions of people.
Left. Factories like BCS Automotive over in Auburn, where her family lived, shut down. 22,000 local jobs disappeared in the Syracuse region. That's the story.
Steve says the CHIPS Act makes me think of casinos because they're gambling with our money.
Nationwide. Hollowed out. Robbed of hope. But not on my watch, thanks to investing we're making in America and the partnerships we formed. American manufacturing is back. New factories are going up all across the country. And communities like Syracuse are writing the great American comeback story. That's what it is, a comeback story, creating new jobs, new businesses, new hope. Today, folks,
Communist systems produce crappy products. They do.
See shovels in the ground
I agree.
in these projects. People going back to work, hope they feel the pride that I feel. Pride in their hometowns, making a comeback. Pride in America. Pride in knowing we can get big things done when we work together. That's why I've never been more optimistic about this nation's future.
Because you have brain damage, sir. I've never been more pessimistic about this nation's future.
We just have to remember who we are, for God's sake. We're the United States of America.
Here we go. We're
and
yelling again.
Nothing beyond our capacity
nothing.
to get done. When we work together.
We do nothing. That's what my administration has done. Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. They just cut it off there. Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to retards for a second. Here we are. I have news too. Okay, it looks like these retards have ceased being annoying. That's good. He's the president most likely to get guillotined. If only we lived in a just society, harlot. We got yellow jackets. Is this like the yellow jackets in France? I don't know. I don't know. They look Chinese to me.
Solidarity Committee. This means we are all engaged.
There's something needs, I'll tell you that.
In this struggle until liberation.
Why are all the foreigners in jackets?
In support of PSCs.
Is that so they can make people of color more visible?
We have lost confidence. In President Hartzell.
We have lost confidence. Yeah. Now you know how the rest of us feel. Imagine repeating every word.
It's been really fucking overwhelming to come to your
Yeah, it must be taxing on them.
yesterday planned by PSC to be an educational event.
We're having technical intifadas.
We knew it was that. We all knew it was that. And in fact, we adjusted our curriculum.
That's a them problem, not a me problem.
And for our students to be able to participate and learn in this space that we call the university. We had planned to be there yesterday to support PSC, not in a protest. It was a
Joe
teaching.
signs a
It was
bill
meant
saying you cannot
to
lynch
ask
him.
us to bring in lessons. So we had lessons prepared. We were going to have art sessions and study sessions because, you know, students have exams.
Yeah, to indoctrinate these kids into communist ideology.
And unfortunately,
We're
I'm
gonna
not
indoctrinate
studying.
all
They
these
have
kids,
been
but the cops
doing
came and
all
stopped
the
us.
work that the university is getting paid to do. They are doing the work right now of carrying this university in a way that is really showing Jay Hartzell's cowardice and the cowardice of our Texas legislators.
See, look, they put all the people of color
our
in yellow vests
faculty organizations.
so that
have
we
not-
can acknowledge and appreciate them, guys. Really, we have to cherish and worship and pray to the gods of our culture, the elusive, the downtrodden, the marginalized, the victimized people of color,
not once spoken up
the colored people,
in the
as
midst
I
of
like
a
to call them.
genocide. So they are actually leading the
The
way,
coloreds.
showing us how to show up, what it means to actually care.
Texas stop public university DEI programs.
In this moment, what it means.
That's
to be
based
engaged
as fuck.
politically, and how to do that in a moment when we are being denied all our rights.
Oh, they're
Our
being
rights to
denied,
speech,
guys.
Our rights
You
to
can't deny
expression,
their rights.
Our rights to collective organization, our rights to do our jobs, and to support one another and to be.
You got to
human.
support them.
We are not allowed on this campus to express any sentiment or emotion about an ongoing genocide. And that is a repression that we can no longer tolerate. We will not tolerate any longer.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Either of you. I'm good. I had a sentence.
I think you said it well.
Okay. Roger Reeves, I'm going to introduce a few folks. Dr. Roger Reeves.
Who's a homosexual.
English. I'm also a UT alum.
Oh, I called it. I called it.
I'm an MFA from UT Austin. I did my PhD at UT Austin.
I did my PhD in butt fucking. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hang on.
To each their own.
You want to put this on?
If you want butt fuck people, that's fine. As long as they agree to it.
I will
And they're not children.
You want to go and be introduced?
But being as you're a college professor, I only have to assume they are.
I'm currently a junior at this university.
Yeah, you're really ugly too.
And I'm one of the
Oh, she's such an ugly little pro-jihadi fucking intifada.
I'm just going to share my first name, Raneem, Raneem.
And just for the sake of transparency, why don't you feel comfortable sharing your last name?
Because I don't feel safe on this campus. Point blank.
So after 2 days...
Well, maybe if you stopped supporting jihad, people wouldn't be coming after you. I'm just saying. You know?
What's the plan for your organization moving forward?
I'm sorry?
What's the plan for your organization moving forward after today?
Well, we will not back down. We will continue to stand firm in our fight for liberation and struggle. We here have...
They trust authority because
here
that's
have
how they
our
will
masses.
succeed.
Students are with us.
The universities
So
dispense
we won't back
authority.
down.
Yes.
We'll continue to keep fighting
Authoritarianism.
and keep pursuing our demands.
Right?
And
An
I'm sure y'all heard those
unwavering,
some of the
blind
of
commitment
university
to what
divestment
you're
from
told to
others
think,
manufacturers
right?
Who are killing innocent people in Palestine right now.
There are no innocent people in Palestine, young lady, because there is no Palestine. Not only is there no Palestine,
Violent forces onto our
the
campus,
Gazans,
our student voice
there's no
our
innocent
strength.
Gazans. Statistically speaking, 85% of them support Hamas, support what happened,
Overwhelmed by what they thought they were going to
right?
do as a teacher.
Trust the science. There's no innocent Gazans. Right? They're just not innocent. They are complicit, right? And people are being more than kind to them, right? All right, we got some news to go over. This is stupid. All right. Hundreds arrested as universities crack down on pro-Palestinian encampments.
Trevor Alton's in Los Angeles with the latest for us. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. The demonstrations here essentially shut down USC's campus. Even this morning,
We watched
students,
that
faculty,
yesterday.
staff, they all have to show campus ID just to get in. And this was one of many schools across the country where we saw heated confrontations
the
between
reason
these
that it was
protesters
shut down
standing
is
up for
because our
Gaza
reporter
and
got
police telling
arrested.
them they needed to leave or they would be removed.
This morning, the
That's what
nationwide
happened.
movement of campus demonstrations, leading to sometimes violent clashes. Overnight at Emerson College in Boston, protesters attempting to form a human wall to stop police moving in, up to 100 protesters arrested. Police at the University of Southern California overnight arresting 93 people while removing tents and clearing protesters from a Gaza solidarity camp. One
Gaza
precinct now
solidarity.
full of arrested protesters. These tense moments after a scuffle between officers in riot gear and a pro-Palestinian group. The university now closed to anyone but students.
It makes me feel threatened and intimidated, and I think that the anti-Semitic rhetoric must be condemned by the university.
An unauthorized protest breaking out at the University of
saw that
Texas in
yesterday,
Austin.
too.
No, what are you doing?
Dozens arrested as officers used horses to disperse crowds, some nearly crashing into our Mireya Villarreal, who was on the scene. A cameraman filming the demonstration grabbed by police and thrown to the ground. Similar encampments springing up at Brown University and Harvard. And at Columbia, university officials extending a deadline to remove this large encampment to...
It all happened at the exact same time, right? It was coordinated, right? That means there's bigger hands at play here, guys.
Divests from Israeli apartheid and their genocidal campaign in Gaza.
House Speaker Mike Johnson visiting campus, criticizing school officials for allowing the continued demonstrations.
We just can't allow this kind of hatred and anti-Semitism to flourish on our campuses. They've
Oh
chased
yeah,
down
Mike
Jewish
Johnson.
students.
Oh man, he's the beast of the day. We should watch that video. Mike Johnson just came out and basically fucking trolled them all. It was amazing. It was amazing. Let's see if we can find that.
We were waiting for this moment. We're told Speaker Mike Johnson is now taken to the microphone
boss
after meeting
level
with
right
Jewish
here.
students. Let's listen live on the Columbia campus.
So,
listen to him pooing.
Thank you all for being here today. We
Thank
have
you for being here.
several members of Congress here, and we're here today at one of America's preeminent academic institutions on a very important day and a very important time. Throughout history, Columbia students have contributed to the great storybook of America's life and thought. Visionary American leaders like Alexander Hamilton and John.
Could you imagine Nancy Pelosi coming out to a church full of evangelical Christians, like one of those Solid Rock or whatever they are, the Cornerstone, or those giant churches that they make, right? Coming out and getting booed like that and just keeping on like she didn't give a fuck, right? Could you imagine one of them doing a speech like this in front of the other side?
John Jay and the Jewish leader Gershom Shashis knew the self-evident truth that was at the heart of this country and once at the heart of this university, and that is that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. They should not be infringed. The founders and the great leaders who had come through this institution in the past believed in religious liberty. They believed in democracy. They believed in morality and virtue and the dignity of every human person. They believed in the free exchange of ideas, and they detested mob rule. We are standing here right now on the steps of the Low Library.
Detested mob rule,
in this
exactly.
very building right behind us. Columbia University once awarded Winston Churchill an...
This is very much like Eisenhower, right? Eisenhower gave a speech like this during the race riots, I think. Eisenhower was a bad
honorary
motherfucker.
degree, and it was Churchill who said, "It is manifestly right that Jews should have a national home where they may be reunited." We believe in that principle. And today I'm here to proclaim
Absolutely,
to all
Shaman.
those who gnash their teeth
and
demand
this is
to
just
wipe
a
the state of
vehicle
Israel off the map
to organize
and
the
attack
left.
our
I
innocent
agree.
Jewish students, this simple truth: neither Israel nor these Jewish students on this campus will ever stand alone. Today, Hamas issued an endorsement
Yeah, keep screaming, dipshit. That'll definitely get people on your side.
statement of the protesters on this campus. They called them the future leaders of America. It is detestable.
Hamas.
All of this has to be
Hold
said,
on.
but the future... Today, Hamas issued an endorsement statement of the protesters on this campus. They called them the future leaders of America. It is detestable. All of this has to be said because the cherished traditions of this university are being
still are
overtaken
not
right now
saying
by
anything about
radical
the
and extreme
anti-whiteness.
ideologies. They place a target on the backs of Jewish students in the United States and here on this campus. A growing number of students have chanted in support of terrorists. They have chased down Jewish students. They have mocked them and reviled them. They have shouted racial epithets. They have screamed at those who bear the Star of David. Enjoy your
They're
free
saying
speech.
we can't hear you. Oh, he said, enjoy your free speech. Oh.
Enjoy your free speech.
That's fucking amazing. That is such an own, right? Because what they're saying is we can't, like they're trying to chant so loud that no one can hear what he's saying. That's why they're going, we can't hear you. It's because they got their fingers in their ears. And they're screaming that so that no one else can hear either.
They've told Jewish students who wear the Star of David to leave the country.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Shamefully, some professors and faculty have joined the mobs.
You're allowed to say
things have
hateful
gotten
things in
so
this
out of
country,
control that the schools
right?
canceled in-person classes.
I may hate what you have to say, but I am all about you saying it, right? I don't think you should be allowed to shut down universities, right, where people are trying to go to school and get their engineering degrees, right? In order to do it, you should do it somewhere where you don't disrupt people's lives, right? But other than that, you're allowed to be wrong. I support your right to be wrong, right? And as long as you're not burning things, as long as you're not killing people, as long as you're not preventing access to a university, right? You have a right to do whatever the fuck you want.
And now they've come up with this hybrid model where they will discriminate against Jewish students. They're not allowed to come to class anymore for fear of their lives, and it's detestable.
As long as you're not pouring fucking paint on the Mona Lisa and shit, right? Right? Fuck those people. As long as you're not fucking destroying Picassos, right? Yeah, I'm all for it.
As Colombia has allowed these lawless agitators and radicals to take over, the virus of anti-Semitism is spread across other campuses. By some counts, as many as 200 universities have a similar form of protest right now. At Yale, a Jewish student was stabbed in the eye with a Palestinian flag, and 45 students...
Yeah, that's wrong, Uzi. I know. You can say hateful things about black people, right? You won't be put in jail. You'll just be fired, kicked out of society, and beaten up, probably.
Students were arrested. At NYU, pro-Hamas protesters were shouting from the river to the sea.
The same thing should be true about
anti-Israel encampments are popping up at universities all across this country.
You should, be shunned by society and possibly get your ass whipped.
The madness has to stop. We just left a meeting with students, Jewish students, who told us of the heinous acts of bigotry that they have experienced simply because of their faith. Their bravery is inspiring, much more inspiring than some of the activities we're seeing here. And they should never have to confront such hate on an American college campus. It's such a revered institution. Anti-Semitism has been growing in America, and it's clear why.
It has been growing.
Powerful people have refused to condemn it.
But it started long before this, right? I don't know when it got cool. It was sometime in the early 2000s that it started to become cool again. Yeah. But that's just how these movements go, right? When everyone's focused about race and everybody's focused about ideology, right? They start to turn on each other and they start to other people, and that's something we must never do, right?
And some have even peddled it themselves. From university professors to public officials, people in positions of authority have denied the horrific facts of September 11, 2001, the attacks on the United States that happened right here in New York City, and they've attempted to excuse or to ignore the barbaric attack of Hamas in Israel on October 7th, 2023.
Yeah, now it's Christians too. You guys are right. Yeah. Really, you don't even have to be religious. You could be irreligious like me, right? And even if you promote traditional Western values, now you're a target. It doesn't have any... It's anyone that says that, fucking Mozart is better than motherfucking Dr. Dre. You're a fucking white supremacist, okay? Right. If you talk about Plato, you're a white supremacist, right? If you fucking promote fucking Judeo-Christian ideas, you're a white supremacist, right? Even though, I have to say this, the majority of Christians are non-white. There's more Latino Christians, Catholics anyway. The majority of Catholics are non-white, right? I don't know about Christians, but I know Catholics it is.
Where Israeli women and children were savagely raped and murdered. and infants were cooked in ovens. Crowds of radical activists have chanted death to America and on our own streets in this country, and sub-public officials have refused to condemn them. Others have openly defended these acts on campus, and the harassing and the intimidation and the threatening of innocent Jewish students simply because of who they are. They've called that peaceful protest, and some have even gone as far as calling for the state of Israel to be eliminated. These are words we expect from Ayatollahs in Iran, not American lawmakers and not American students.
See, I just wanted to just show you like how conservatives are different, right? From Democrats. Democrats will throw you out, right? Like if somebody protested like that while Nancy Pelosi was speaking, she would have that person arrested, right? A, she wouldn't appear in front of a hostile crowd like that, and B, definitely wouldn't let them speak their mind, right? But the Republicans at least are willing to come out and do that. And that, I think, speaks to the value of their ideas, right? The reason that Republicans can come out and do that is because what they're saying is right, and they have a powerful message, right? Right? In this case, even when they're talking about economics or fucking the constitutional issues, right? They are willing to debate anyone because they know their ideas are right, right? And that says a lot about just about the dynamic, right? Right? That conservative ideas are generally good ideas, right? And liberal ideas are so bad that there's no room for debate, because if you debate them, their ideas can't stand up. War is so 20th century. Well, if you thought the 20th century had some brutal wars, you ain't seen nothing yet, because this one's about to get hot. Now, okay, so we were talking about the Supreme Court earlier. Supreme Court justices say Trump immunity decision will have huge implication for America's future. Supreme Court justices heard oral arguments in the case that will determine if a president has immunity from criminal prosecution brought by Donald Trump in an attempt to dismiss his federal election interference case. And yes, I'm sure the Supreme Court is going to say yes, because all presidents have enjoyed immunity from prosecution for the things that they did as president, right? You can argue Nixon, but Nixon was never charged. Arguments, which lasted roughly 3.5 hours, began heated with the majority of the conservative arm of the court toying with the idea of awarding the president some form of immunity from criminal charges. Some expressed concern that the president could face politically motivated prosecution. Exactly. Well, I mean, and there's no better precedent for that than what's happening to Donald Trump right now. Because you got to remember that as the Supreme Court is hearing his case, he's being tried in New York for something that's not illegal. I just want to stress that. And he's not allowed to go to the Supreme Court and argue for his own case, right? That should be a crime in itself, right? That is a travesty of justice, right? Right? He has a case before the Supreme Court, and right now he's trapped in a fucking chair in New York City because the judge is corrupt, right? Most of the court, notably the liberal justices and Justice Amy Coney Barrett, appeared skeptical of awarding presidents and Mr. Trump broad absolute immunity. No, it shouldn't be absolute, but he has the right to contest the election, right? Especially when it was stolen, right? Should the court rule narrowly on immunity, it could send Mr. Trump's appeal back to lower courts for further litigation, potentially delaying the federal election interference trial, which is really what Donald Trump, that's a win for Donald Trump too, right? If it can go after the election, he's president, and there you go. Now, Mr. Trump did not attend arguments as he is required to be in New York. Yeah, that's what I just said. Key points. Justices appear inclined to offer presidents some immunity. What to know about Donald Trump's presidential immunity battle? What? Let's see here. Why the ghost of the Nixon administration will hover over Trump's hearing. When will the Supreme Court rule? Legal experts say it may take some time. That's bad grammar. Okay, let's see here. Justice Jackson suggests the court should not rule narrowly. I tend to agree with her on this. Maybe not her reasoning, but her ultimate conclusion. Justice Jackson suggests that the Supreme Court could not rule extremely narrowly in this case and only decide if presidents have absolute immunity or not. Well, no, I don't agree with that. I agree that they should make a broad ruling saying that presidents have immunity for anything that they did that's related to their job, right? So, like, the president was contesting an election. It's his job to be president. Therefore, it's his job to contest the election. Therefore, he has immunity, right? That's how I see it. What is this, Ash? We're going to look at what Ash just gave us. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Let's hear that.
And determined that Office of Legal Counsel looked at this very carefully and determined that.
How about President Obama's drone strikes?
So the Office of Legal Counsel looked at this very carefully and determined that, number one, the federal murder statute does apply to the executive branch. The president wasn't personally carrying out the strike, but the aiding and abetting laws are broad. And it determined that a public authority exception that's built into statutes and that applied particularly to the murder statute because it talks about unlawful killing did not apply to the drone strike. So this is actually the way that the system should function. The Department of Justice takes criminal law very seriously. It runs it through the analysis very carefully with established principles. It documents them, it explains them, and then the president can go forward in accordance with it. And there is no risk of prosecution for that course of activity.
Yeah, so it's totally fine for the president to kill American citizens, right, with a drone strike. Okay? But it's totally illegal for a Republican to challenge an election. That's basically what we get here, right? It's okay for the CIA to interfere with the election, which they absolutely did, right? It's okay for social media companies to interfere with the election, which is exactly what they did, right? But it's illegal for the president to challenge it, and if he challenges it, we're going to call it interference, right? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, Ash. That this is their argument. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. So you can't charge Obama with a drone strike, which is illegal, right? I mean, kind of. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to actually go with no, right? Yeah, the president should be able to kill people. I mean, it wasn't done in America, right? And, I mean, Joe Biden killed our own people in Afghanistan. He drone striked a U.S. aid worker. I know that's not an American citizen, but that's like an employee, right? Right? I mean, people get killed by accident. This wasn't on accident. I know that. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I think that like let's look at it from a different situation, right? Right? American is gonna give China secrets, right? Can we take them out then? If they're on their way to China, can we take them out then? Right? I don't know. I think we can. I think that's legal, right? Yeah, no, it is a clown show in Georgia. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, right? Trump said, yeah, I need 11,000 votes. Where are they at, right? Because we all know, right? We all know that shit was rigged. We saw it with our own eyes on this channel. We saw people kick everybody out of the counting room, and then 4 black ladies counted all the votes that they pulled from underneath the table, right? They pulled bags of votes out and started counting them after everybody was gone. After they kicked them out, in fact. They, in fact, kicked everybody out. So, yeah. Let's check it out. Right? And you got to remember, guys. You guys got to remember, up until 2020, Georgia had gone Republican for like 20-something fucking years, right? Was never even on the table. Georgia was never even on the table, guys. That's shocking. Those things do happen. I'm not saying that's never happened before. I mean, shit, Reagan won California, right? But he was the governor of California. He won New York. He won all the liberal states, right?
In not so distant past, the presidents or certain presidents have engaged in various activity, coups or operations like Operation Mongoose when I was a teenager, and yet there were no prosecutions. Why? If what you're saying is right, it would seem that would have been ripe for criminal prosecution of someone.
So, Justice Thomas, I think this is a central question. The reason why there have not been prior criminal prosecutions is that there were not crimes.
Over in not so distant past.
Oh, there were not crimes. Taking out the leader of another country without declaring war on them is actually a crime. It's actually against the Geneva Convention. Did you guys know that? I knew that, Space. I knew that. I know you know that. Yeah. It's a tragedy what they're trying to do to me, Space. It's the greatest witch hunt since Lincoln, Space. I know, sir. I know. The lawyers always sound so gay. They are. Yeah, guys. So we were having fun today. This was kind of fun. Joe Biden actually did well. I'm going to give him a 3 out of 4 on his performance today. That was, compared to what he normally does on his own scale, right? Not like I would give myself a higher rating today than I would give him, right? But he's not on my level, right? But I would say That was one of the better speeches I've ever heard from him. Granted, it was 99% recycled from all of his other speeches. But even then, all of his speeches are like that. And he always flubs majorly, right? He always just destroys it. But not in a good way. Not like wrecks it, but like fucks it up, right? But today, he was coherent. He only had a couple minor slips. He didn't claim that his uncle was eaten by cannibals or that he has cancer. Yeah. He didn't say that we're going to invade Poland or say that Israel was on the border with Mexico. He will get 3 scoops of ice cream tonight, says Shaman. Yeah, he will. That was the crystal meth. Yeah, it's possible. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Now, real quick, guys, I want to let you all know that this channel has been heavily censored by YouTube. They took away my good channel, right? And now they heavily censor this channel, so where I can't even get new subscribers or anything. So if you guys want to support the channel, I dropped a link to my Patreon right there. Yeah, that would be awesome. Because someone's got to do this. And, yeah, and, or if you just want to, like, send me money, you can just do that on Cash App or whatever. And I drop that in the chat. Okay, cool. So, I will keep my eyes peeled. The whole country may break out into this weekend is going to be something. I know that, right? Like, this weekend, right? And this weekend might set something off across the country. Like, out on the streets, okay? And then it becomes very bad things, right? But I'm going to keep my eyes on this and see what we can do and see if it gets spicy, and then we'll be back if it does. Yeah. But if not, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, we go live whenever the fuck I say, and nothing you can do will stop me. You cannot stop me, sir. All right. I want to thank everyone for coming out. You guys, I will see you later or tomorrow, or make sure you're still subscribed. Yeah, and turn the notifications on or else you won't know.